Hello and welcome to the review. For those of you who don't know, I'm a fan of Batman. I have seen the majority of the movies, even
Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman.
that. I've seen a lot of Batman movies, from the Burton movies to the Nolan movies, even the Schumacher movies. I've also played the Arkham video game series produced by Rocksteady Studios. But now, while I have seen the majority of Batman movies, there's one that has slipped under my radar. And that is Batman Masking of the Phantasm. For some reason, I don't know why I never saw this. This was meant to cash in on the success of Batman the Animated Series, which was going on at the same time. For some reason, this movie did horrible at the box office, but yet more and more people are discovering it every year. Does it deserve to be seen, or should it stay forgotten? Well, let's take a look. With the credits in a CGI version of Gotham City. And yes, let me say one thing. This is the only bit of CG in the movie. At this point, every animated film had CGI everywhere in their movies. It was new and it was a big thing. But this movie is hand-drawn, just like the animated series was. It's clever for the opening credits. So, after the credits end, we go to the hand-drawn version of the movie, where we see gangsters negotiating over counterfeit money. When Batman in this movie is voiced by honestly the best Batman ever, Kevin Conroy, who also voiced Batman in the animated series and in the Arkham video games. After one of the gangsters gets away, we think, oh, Batman's gonna show up and he's gonna take him down. When all of a sudden,
Chucky saw.
Batman! How'd you get here?
Your angel of death awaits.
this is the Phantasm, a new villain in Gotham City who was never in the animated series. While the gangster tries to take down the Phantasm, we find out the Phantasm can disappear into thin air. This is most likely an illusion similar to how Batman sneaks away when no one's looking. So after the gangster gets killed off, from a distance most people think it's Batman who killed him, because from a distance both Batman and the Phantasm look very similar. Bruce Wayne, of course, flirting with some women. After he has a run-in with one of his ex-girlfriends, after Bruce goes into another room, we see what Bruce Wayne was like before he became Batman. Turns out Andrea was actually his first love after his parents were killed. For the most part, you think, oh, this actually is a good, happy ending for Bruce Wayne. But like most Gothic stories, it does not end well.
Left with Dad. Too young. Need time. Forget about me.
After the Phantasm kills off another one of the gangsters, one of the final gangsters sees that and reads in the newspaper that Batman is apparently killing these gangsters. Fearing that his life is next, he goes to an unlikely source for help.
I hate that song.
The Joker in this movie is voiced by Mark Hamill. Yes, Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill, like Kevin Conroy, voiced the Joker in Batman the Animated Series, as well as multiple other Batman projects. When the Phantasm is about to finally axe off one of the last gangsters, we find out the Joker beat him to the punchline. See what I did? This is the first time we actually see Batman and the Phantasm actually fight, but it's actually interrupted by the police. This is one of the more brutal scenes in the movie because Batman is bloodied as he is. This really beats Batman. He actually even gets unmasked in this fight, and I have never seen this many people so close to seeing Batman's true identity. He's rescued by Andrea, while earlier in the film they actually had a fight where they seem to lose trust with each other. We finally get the explanation on why Andrea left Bruce Wayne, and why they didn't just stay together. Turns out her father was involved with the same gangsters that the Phantasm has been killing off. Possible connection. Once Bruce Wayne figures out that one of the two remaining gangsters is actually the Joker, he realizes that the Joker is the Phantasm's next target. When the Phantasm finally confronts the Joker, we actually get the reveal of who the Phantasm is.
You're harder to kill than a cockroach on steroids.
So you figured it out.
Yes, Andrea is the Phantasm. After a small, mediocre fight in this one area, the Joker leaps out of a window and actually turns on a giant fan, hoping to suck Andrea in. But Batman saves her at the last second. And Batman finally explains, he explains what the audience was supposed to piece together this whole time.
Your father's dead, isn't he? You came into town early to get Chucky Saul, so you could shift the blame to your father if you had to.
After Andrea leaves, Batman goes after the Joker in a very clever model fight scene. It worked. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill just work as Batman and the Joker because it feels like they have a history. If you're a fan of the animated series, you'll understand their history a little bit better. But here is a clever twist. You can you can watch this movie even if you've never seen Batman the animated series. After Joker reveals to Batman that the whole place is rigged to blow, the Joker tries to escape in a jetpack. It was a comic book movie in the early 90s. Just live with it. After a pretty brutal fight scene between Batman and the Joker, Andrea returns and is giving herself up to kill the Joker. As all the explosions go off in the background, the Joker lets out his best laugh ever. After Batman escapes the explosion, we learn that Andrea was not well.
I couldn't save her, Alfred.
I don't think she wanted to be saved, sir.
As Bruce finds a pendant that Andrea had left him when they were dating, we cut to a cruise ship to see that Andrea actually survived the explosion. It's unknown what happened to the Joker, but if you've ever seen the animated series, you know he has survived worse. One thing I have unfortunately looked over in this movie is the music. The music in this movie is fantastic. There are two scenes in particular before the end credits I would like to mention. One is earlier in the movie when you see Bruce Wayne's full transformation into Batman, you finally get to see him put his mask on for the first time. You don't get to see what he looks like, but the music indicates it's one of the best things you've ever seen in your life. The other is the final scene in the movie itself. The music just emphasizes a huge gothic choir, which they were finally able to bring in with the budget they had. Was Batman Mask of the Phantasm? Does it deserve to be forgotten? No. This movie is a definite watch if you're a fan of Batman, a fan of the animated series, or just want a good movie to watch. It's a quick movie, so you'll get a nice viewing of it. I definitely think more people should watch this movie because it's a really good interpretation of Batman. Thank you for watching this video. And don't forget to subscribe.